Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 407, season 17. Today's date is February 9th, 2025, and welcome to the show. On today's program, I'm going to talk about the Epicurean Restaurant. That's a Hungarian restaurant that was located in Chicago Loop. I will read off a menu from that place, and it was very well remembered by most people back in the day. Also, I'll talk about whatever happened to Certs Candy, with the Rutsin. I'll explain that and my memories of having that candy and its commercials that made a huge impact to a lot of people, including myself. But first, we'll go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by General Foods International Coffees. I remember these commercials. And here's one from 1981. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the show, folks. Thank you.
How do birds fly? Where do zebras get their stripes? How can one sleepy fella ask so many questions?
Come on, now it's our time. I made some General Foods International coffee.
A touch of orange.
It's orange cappuccino. I'm having Swiss mocha. I love that chocolate taste. By the way, where do zebras get their stripes?
Please, no more questions.
Celebrate the moments of your life
with General Foods International Coffees.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for General Foods International Coffees. Remember these commercials very well. They're sort of still around in a way. But these were very popular in the late 70s and the 80s and the 90s. They had all kinds of flavors to choose from. Like, for example, cappuccino, Swiss mocha, Cafe Vienna, which I like. They also had French vanilla. That's a good one. Let's see what else they got. Let's see. There was Cafe Olay or something like that. Olay. I don't know how to pronounce it. My French is bad. And I remember the commercials that featured Carol Lawrence. She was an actor. She's an actress. She's still alive. She's from Melrose Park, Illinois, and she was in a lot of musicals, a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies. Very Italian girl from there. And she did those commercials. And there was Sergio Franchi. He was a singer from Italy. And did those, and then they showed. So I tried it before when I was younger. The one I liked the most was Swiss mocha because I love chocolate. I like that, and French vanilla. Those are tasty. So you can find any flavored coffees today in your grocery aisle. At Jewel or Costco, Target, whatever. They are sold. Okay, and so I like flavored coffees too. Yeah, I don't like cold coffee. Like frappe. That's a Greek one. Don't care for it. I like coffee hot and rich, good to the last drop. That's what I always say. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the Epicurean Restaurant. That was a Hungarian restaurant that was located in the Chicago Loop. I'm going to read a menu off of that. And then I will talk about whatever happened to Certs Candy. Yeah, so I'll talk about its history and why it disappeared. And I'll explain. But first, before we get started, I want to mention something. Today's Super Bowl. Hope everyone will watch that. As for me, not a football fan, but it's on. It's a big deal. I'll listen to it. That's what I'll do. So that's fine. Because these teams that play, they're great. But I don't follow football, so I don't really care. So, I hope everyone will have a good time to watch it, because this is a big deal. And it's over a big deal, if you ask me. So we'll see how it goes. And it should be interesting. And let's see what else. Wednesday, I'll be going to my urologist. I haven't been there in 6 months. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to do a checkup on me. I hope I don't go to the hospital again for another procedure. Like it's what's that called? It's outpatient. So hopefully not. Because I'm going to get my award on the 20th. So I don't want to conflict that. I have to explain to the doctor. Can we do this after? Or if we do it before, can we do it soon? I don't want to wear a catheter at the award. That's annoying. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what he says. But he's going to check me out. The test results, they were from my oncologist. I don't have to get another blood test. He will see that and he'll explain. He probably doesn't know that the cancer spread in my body. So I have to explain that. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to talk about the Epicurean Restaurant. And that was a Hungarian restaurant that was there for many years, probably, I don't know, 40 years, maybe in the 40s, 50s, 60s. It was there in the 70s, I know that. And that was located at 316 South Wabash Avenue. And the owner of the place, which I got to find because I found an article in the Tribune. And let's see. And the man's name was Max Decker, and he was a gourmet chef. So he opened the place, and it didn't just serve just Hungarian food. It was a continental restaurant. And you don't find many places like that, not Hungarian, but it was right in the loop. I bet a lot of people enjoyed it from what I've heard. So I'm sure they serve goulash, probably their specialty. So I found a menu of the place. And I have it right here. So let's see. I'll tell you what it is. So here it has a little history on the menu. So it's an Epicurean restaurant, famous for Hungarian style cooking, and it established in 1936. Interesting. So it was there for, and it says on the bottom of the menu, the home of the famous fresh Hungarian apple strudel. Oh, that sounds good. I love apple strudel. Yeah, like that. Okay. So let's see what we got here. We'll do the first page. One moment, please. Here we are. Let's see what we got. They had appetizers. For example, they had a large shrimp cocktail and a small shrimp I can't pronounce this word. Jonghe. Jonks? I don't know. And they served, you know what they served? They served wine, a Hungarian wine. One was called Red or Dry Egribikaver. Also, a light sweet wine called Tokjaki Ferment, and you can order by glass or a bottle. And the third one is a light dry Jasberinel. I'll say it again. Jasberinel Riesling wine. Yeah, I think it's German. They also had other wines, red dinner wines, rosé, white, and all that. Also cocktails, if you like. Also whiskeys, cognac, even imported from Hungary. Also, they had, on the bottom of the menu, they said special Epicurean cocktail. I don't know what that is. Also, they have Yugoslavian Slivovitz plum brandy. Also, Golden Pear Korti and Carpathian Frenzy. I don't know what they are. So that was their the wine and the appetizers. Okay, now we're going to get to the main menu. Here we go. This is fun. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Okay, so you had a choice of chicken noodle soup or soup du jour or tomato juice, whatever was available that day. Now, here we go. Our Hungarian specialties. One is Epicurean famous stuffed cabbage. I love stuffed cabbage. I really do. My mom makes it like in a Greek style, with the dolmades. But instead of Greek leaves, she uses cabbage, and it's delicious. And you bake it in the oven. Oh, it's delicious. I love it. Also, they had Hungarian beef goulash with noodles, smoked Hungarian sausage with sauerkraut. Here, I can't pronounce this. It says Kelly goulash, hearty peasant goulash. Oh, okay. Chicken paprikash, half with spatzels. So they use a lot of paprika. So that's like that. So paprikash is paprikash. I can't pronounce it. It's probably a specialty of that. Beef risotto, that's a combination of beef and rice with tomato sauce or goulash gravy, whatever you want. Breaded veal cutlet. Oh, I love veal cutlet. Served with tomato sauce or goulash gravy. It's probably their specialty, the gravy. They had roast chicken, half with dressing, either Hungarian style or breaded, whatever you like. Epicurean famous taster platter. Chicken paprikash, beef goulash, or seski goulash, whatever you want. So you get a taster platter. You choose what you want to taste. Also, fresh chicken liver sautéed with onions. Some people like liver. I like liver. Chicken, not really. I like beef. And next is calf's liver sauté or broiled with onions. People like that. All right. Next, they have continental favorites. One is veal cutlet alla Holstein or veal scallopini. So that sounds Italian. Prime beef sauerbraten with noodles. Also shish kebab. It's marinated lamb with onions, tomatoes, green peppers, and chef's rice. So that's like souvlaki in a way. Like Greek. Because I love souvlaki. It's wonderful. Also on the broiler section, they have U.S. Prime New York cut steak. This is $7.95. I don't know when this menu was printed, but that sounds cheap. Back then. It sounds cheap now, but not at the time. Also, they have broiled lamb chops, broiled chicken half, dry or butter sauce, broiled pork chops served with applesauce. Peter Brady from Brady Bunch. Also, a half pound of chopped sirloin or beef to order, French fried onion rings. Okay. Also, they had seafood, so it's deep sea and lakes, so it's shrimp Dijon. I can't pronounce that word. It's Jonghe. Deep fried filet of sole, broiled red snapper, French fried shrimps served with cocktail sauce, and broiled halibut steak. Okay. Also, the skillet, they had cheese blintzes with sour cream. That sounds good. 1 dozen potato pancakes, fresh strawberry and apple-filled pancakes, and also palaksinka with cheese, jelly, or prune. These are Hungarian blintzes. So these are the blintzes that are Hungarian. Also, it's served with a famous salad bowl or cottage cheese or fruit and choice of dressings. Roquefort dressing costs 35 cents extra. I don't know why. It's also Bavarian red cabbage or cream spinach and potato, if not included in the entree. Also, they had their famous desserts. They had our world famous homemade hot cheese, apple, cherry strudel, French ice cream, sherbet, or cream de mint frappe drink. That sounds lovely. Sounds delicious. Okay. As for the restaurant, I don't know when it closed. Probably in the 80s sometime. I checked on Google, did a search. There was another restaurant called Epicurean Restaurant, and that was in Hillside, Illinois. I don't know if it's the same place. I have no idea. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. So, but the one that a lot of people remembered and dined frequently was the one on South Wabash Avenue, in downtown. So you don't find many Hungarian restaurants in Chicago. Maybe there are a couple. You have to search, because we have all kinds, of ethnic foods, Greek, Italian, Mexican, French, German. That's what makes Chicago great. But I'm sure there's a couple Hungarian little places around like that. Okay. All right. Right now, I'm going to play a commercial for Certs Candy. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, I just want to get that set up. Okay, so here's a Certs commercial from 1976. And it's with Retsin, and you hear the two clicks. The famous clicks. Click, click, click. That's what makes Certs so famous. And after the commercial, when I come back, I will explain its history and whatever happened to them. Okay. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the rest of the show, folks. Thank you.
Did you see that guy in 4B? Give me a Certs.
I just did.
I know, but it's gone.
Certs keeps on working, even after the candy's gone.
You sure?
Sure. Take the Certs breath test. Breathe in. Feel a cool, clean taste?
Mm-hmm.
That tells you Certs with Retsin is still working to keep your breath fresh.
Your lunch, sir?
Thank you.
Certs, 2 mints in 1. It keeps on working even after the candy's gone.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Certs. And you heard the click, click. Oh, I used to watch these commercials all the time when I was a kid, and once I got a little older, I used to buy them. Because for little kids, it's these are breath mints. They're not candy, per se, like candy. This is for adults, and like Clarets. Remember them? So I used to see these at 2 drugstores from my old neighborhood where I grew up. It was Crestline Pharmacy and Edwards Drugstore. Excuse me, Edwards Drugstore. I almost belched. Sorry, forgive me. Anyway, so I used to see the display of the different colors of the Certs like that. They had peppermint, fruit flavor, cinnamon, maybe spearmint. I guess it were all different flavors. So let's see what else. I'll be right there in a minute. So I'm going to pull up some images of Certs candies, and I'll tell you the flavors they had. All right. So here we go. So they had spearmint, peppermint, wintergreen, fruit flavors and all that. And it's a shame that they're gone like that. Because I don't know why. Well, I do know why. So I'll explain what happened. So I'm going to talk about its history of the Certs right now. Also, you know what? They had Certs gum. They did. They came in a gum format, and they didn't last very long. So that was interesting, like that. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna explain what's going on. Okay, so Certs was a brand of breath mint, and it's noted for 2 mints in 1. With the click click, and it made its debut in the market in 1956, so it was there for quite a while, And the owners of the candies were American Chickle, Warner Lambert, Pfizer, and Cadbury. So they keep changing like that. And it was introduced in the North American market in 1956, and it was approved by the Good Housekeeping, magazine. And so it's certified. So that makes sense. when it was under Warner Lambert, that was the company. It was under Chiclets, Dentine, Halls, and Trident. And they were replacing the Adams division. Remember the Adams gum? They did that. And then later on, they made sugar-free certs. You don't want to get cavities, get tooth decay. So that's good. I'm sure they tasted fine like that. So what you're probably wondering, what is Retsin? What is that? And it's a trademark name for a mixture of copper gluconate, partially hydrogenated cottonseed oil, and flavoring. So that's the Retsin, and it has those green flecks, those little spots on those certs every time you pop one in your mouth like that. Originally, they were shaped in a circular tablet, and then they changed it, and then they had it in a beveled edges and says "Certs" right on it with a big C, like that. So that's good. So the flavors they had are cinnamon, peppermint, spearmint, wintergreen, and fruit flavor. I remember trying. I'm not a big peppermint fan. Cinnamon, it's okay, but I like spearmint and wintergreen. Later on, they made Certs powerful mints. They were like Tic Tacs, so they probably were in competition. And later on, they had called Certs Cool Mint Drops. So it's like a medium-sized oval-shaped mint, and they came in cinnamon, fresh mint, peppermint, and fruit flavor. So the advertising was started, probably in the late 50s and 60s, but it really took off in the 70s, when, people started dating at the time, couples, they always, when they go on a date, they want to have have fresh breath. Like that. So it's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. So they showed these commercials all the time during the day and at night, probably prime time. But mostly I saw those during the day when I wasn't at school, and they showed them during soap operas. I used to see that. Okay. And unfortunately, they were discontinued in 2018. And it says possibly due to its containing partially hydrogenated cottonseed oil, and it's an ingredient, and it's not been allowed in foods in the United States. So I don't know if you can get certs overseas. Probably not. I don't know. I don't think so. But they've been discontinued. So they've been gone for 7 years, and I didn't even notice. Yeah, that's a shame. Because I like certs. I really did. I like the candy very much. It's very tasty. But there are the breath mints now, Like, so there was Freshen Up gum. Do you remember that? And there was Clorettes. And remember Dynamints? I talked about that on a previous podcast episode. So that was Velaments. Remember those? I got to talk about those. Those were fun because they were around when I was in high school, and they were a big deal back then. Okay. So that's it for certs. Now I got a craving to get one like that. So that's it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I've talked about. I talked about the Epicurean Restaurant that was located at 316 South Wabash Avenue. It was in the Chicago Loop. It was famous for their Hungarian cuisine. Also, I talk about whatever happened to Certs Candy, and I explained its history and my memories of, consuming that wonderful candy. Okay. So this podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, also Breaker, Overcast. Could be in other apps. If you subscribe to those apps, if you have them on your phone or your tablet, just tap on them and tap follow. And you'll get the latest episode. You'll receive a notification. Also, you can listen to previous episodes if you like. Also, it'll be on my blog, www.vanishchicagoland.blog. You can click on the link. It'll take you right there and you can listen. It'll take you to the website of Spotify. So you Excuse me. So you can listen to that. I hate coughing like this. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel again and again. People always ask me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? The easiest way to find my podcast is YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in Vanishing Chicagoland Stories, the podcast, or type in my name, Picostanis, and click subscribe, and you will receive a notification of the latest episodes. You can also listen to previous episodes if you like. They're all there. Help yourself. Listen anytime. Also, be sure on my social media accounts, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm sort of on TikTok, but not on my phone. I have to go on my iPad, but it is there. So you can copy the links. It'll take you right there, and you can listen to the podcast anytime, anywhere, wherever you like. Okay. So, this is Pico Sanchez, your host of Vanishing Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today is Sunday, Super Bowl weekend, Super Bowl day, excuse me. Hope everyone will enjoy the game. And so here's a little traveling music from our wonderful person in the whole wide world, Ray Rayner, saying bye, bye, bye. So here's bye, bye for me. Okay, so take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.